Welcome back to Misery Sports Co., the only workplace where motivation is seasonal, morale is on the endangered species list, and the only thing we're harvesting this week is disappointment.
That's right. We're the chronically exhausted executives of emotional downturn. I'm Zach.
And I'm Trevor, and here at Misery Sports Co., our teams rarely give us reasons to celebrate, but our pile of unread self-help books just keeps growing.
Every week we clock in, carve up a fresh spreadsheet of suffering, and review another week of sports-induced indigestion. Last week, our deep dive took us straight into the emotional gumbo of the New Orleans Pelicans, a journey filled with promise, chaos, and more questions than a family Thanksgiving dinner.
But this week, we're back with another deep dive led by yours truly. But before we open that can of seasonal sadness, let's roll a mandatory training video from our first sponsor.
All right, this next segment is going to be brought to you by Vikings Purple Pain Starter Pack. Includes a J.J. McCarthy rookie jersey, a bottle of antacids, and a commemorative "We Were So Close" foam finger. Warning, not safe for playoff use.
Ooh, well, shout out to the Vikings Purple Pain Starter Pack. Boy, they really went all in on JJ there.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically his rookie season, right, with the injury, but it's not looking great.
No, and he's been around for a minute too, right? It was like, let's let him watch. It's going to be good.
Yeah, he was supposed to start last year. He got injured. I think that was when Darnold started. We'll have more on that, but yeah, I feel for the Vikings fans. We appreciate the sponsorship, though.
Yeah, thank you for your sponsorship dollars. Let's move into the weekly earnings report, where the stats are overcooked, the trends are underseasoned, and the auditor has already mentally checked out for the holiday.
All right, I will kick off with a grab bag of my team. So the Cavaliers and the Blue Jackets continue their march of mediocrity. Seems like they're continuing to win one, lose one. The Blue Jackets, I'm less optimistic about, whereas the Cavaliers have some key injuries. Max Strus, Darius Garland's just getting back, so I'm fine with struggling in an NBA season to kick it off. You just need to hit your peak at the right time after All-Star break.
Sure.
But shout out to the Browns. They actually got it done against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Like I said, go ahead and take this opportunity to rewind to last week, folks. When I said, what was the stat about starting quarterbacks?
They are 0-17 since the return on their first start.
And I said, boom, we're going to be here this week saying they are now 1-17. Let's go.
That's right. Shadur Sanders looked competent. He had some, rookie mistakes, a bad interception, but he was driving the ball down the field. He had a 55-yard pass. Of course, the city of Columbus said, we don't want to air this. So I wasn't able to watch all of it live.
What did they show instead?
The Browns are just bad. I don't even think they showed anything.
Oh my gosh.
They just left that empty, which I don't blame them. It was 2-8 Raiders against the 2-8 Browns.
But it's Ohio. See, our markets, our states are losing their own teams' markets. That's how bad we are, folks. Like, you could be in Tennessee and not see the Titans game, and you can be in Columbus and not see the Browns game. This is madness.
Yeah, but the defense delivered again. They had 10 sacks in this game. Myles Garrett had 3.
Goodness.
He is just marching along. He's going to set the sack record as long as he stays healthy. Knock on wood. But this win feels more like a loss because the Raiders are now in front of us for the the draft pick position. We're just not in a place where we can really put it together and make a playoff run. But we'll see. Shadur showed some promise, so hopefully he can build on it this week.
Yeah.
Trevor, how'd your portfolio perform?
Like someone dropped the Thanksgiving pie on the driveway. Let me tell you all about it. It was a loss. We lost. Spoiler alert, we lost to the Seahawks. But when does a loss feel like a win? How do we feel about moral victories? I mean, here at MSC, we have a whole office dedicated to moral victories. So we love them. But it honestly felt like our most positive game of the season, even like more than our one win. We did get JSN after last week. I shouted him out. He's on pace to just have a nuts season. He is 260 yards ahead of the pack in receiving this season. He's going
insane.
Bonkers. And he did have a 63-yard tutty on us over a DB who was in good position. He had 167 on the day, so shout out to JSN. Cam looked great. He was 28 of 42, which is fine for 256. He had a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, no interceptions, no small hand fumbles where he's pinching the football. Really, it was just about like how, and sometime I'll spend more time on this because the beginning of our season has been a gauntlet of really good defenses, and whoever made this is just whoever made this schedule for the Titans is a jerk. So thanks, league, for doing that. But the Seahawks came in 7th in yards allowed, 7th in points allowed, 4th in rushing yards allowed. They were mediocre in passing defense, but like, gotta say, things were good. He had some really nice drives, some that were negated by penalties. Stop me if you've heard that one before. Ugh. But this week really was all about Xavier Restrepo, who you may remember was a wide receiver at Miami who played with Cam. They had really good chemistry, and he was slotted to be an okay receiver in the league until he ran a 4.83 40. Ugh.
Oh,
Ugh.
not great.
Not great. So he actually went undrafted and then signed with the Titans to be with Cam, which made sense. But this was the first week 11, I think we're in week 11. This was the first week he was elevated to the full roster off the practice squad. He had lost playing time to folks named James Proche II, Mason Kinsey, Bryce Oliver, Al Presley III, Christian Wilkerson, Lance McCutcheon. Never heard of these folks. So it's like something was, fans were begging, like, I don't care if like he's not good. We are playing people who are not good. Just let him go. Let him have some chemistry. And gosh darn it, he had 6 targets. He only caught 2, but went for 26 yards. He had a nice scramble catch, some good special teams plays. And so he played well enough to be on the full roster the rest of the way, in my estimation, and maybe build some good chemistry. And it begs the question, like, when does chemistry matter more than speed or like the tangibles that you can measure, you know? Like, there's something to say for chemistry.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Tom Brady, when he was throwing to his wide receivers, like, they weren't typically speed burners outside of Randy Moss the couple years he had him. But I mean, it was just kind of dudes that put in the work. You had timing with them. They got open. I think getting open is more important than the deep balls or, you know, barn burning speed. Absolutely.
And when you can get open and your quarterback trusts you to get open, like, that says more than, I think, the rest of the stuff. We're all interested in seeing what happens to Xavier. It's nice that he's on the 53-man because now other teams can't sign him off the practice squad, though nobody did. I think everybody looked at that 40 time and was like, we're good. Thank you. In Mavs land, vibes are fine. They're better now. We lose a lot of games. We randomly have the second best defense in the league. F you, Nico. It's not because of you. Screw you. But we are dead last in offense.
Oh my gosh.
So these games are just painful to watch. It's painful. Cooper's turning out to be one of the top clutch players in the league. So when the score is within 5, I think, or 10 in the last 5 minutes when it's a single score, I don't know. I got to look that up, but he's playing very well. And we have a Black Friday game in LA against the Lakers.
Oh boy.
It's on Prime, and Dirk is in the studio as a Prime analyst. I don't know if I can watch it, Zach. I have not. Anytime a Luka clip comes up on the Lakers, I don't watch it. It hurts too bad. I don't know if I can watch this game.
I'm with you. I felt the same way when LeBron went to Miami. I just couldn't watch him anymore. And you know that Luka is going to go nuclear in that game.
So you're telling me that I'll get to a point in my life where he comes back and then
could come back.
And then wins Dallas a championship. And please, God, please let us follow the LeBron arc. Oh my gosh, please.
Hey, you got rid of the guy that was the architect of this disaster. He's gone. I think if you churn through the ownership, maybe Mark Cuban comes back, whatever the case might be.
Hey, but Dan Gilbert put out that Comic Sans letter, and LeBron came back.
Oh, he burned bridges. He burned bridges with that. LeBron came back in spite of that letter.
That, though. Right. So, like, maybe there's hope. Maybe, I'll probably, I don't know. I don't know how long I'll last. I will come back next week and tell you how long I lasted watching that game, because it hurts, and I don't like it. It hurts.
It's too soon. Investor confidence, toasted. Stock valuations sliding like gravy off a tilted table.
Before this whole operation collapses like a flimsy folding table at a family gathering, let's steady the ship with a word from our next sponsor. Our next sponsor is Hope Springs Water Bottles. Take a sip and realize if we just win out, we are right back in this thing. That's right, Hope Springs Water. When you're 15 games out of first place with 15 games left in the season, you can say, there's a chance with Hope Springs Water, the official drink of MSC.
That one cuts really deep, Trevor. Thank you for the sponsorship, Hope Springs.
Thanks, Hope Springs.
I have this conversation in my head every single year, and I literally just had it this week. The Browns won. They're at 3-8. And
if we win out.
In the AFC North, Trevor, This is so
Bad.
frustrating, and you've probably been in this position before. The first place teams are the Steelers and the Ravens at 6-5. We are 3 games out of first place. There's not enough games to come back. If we had just played competent offensive football, we would have had another couple wins, and we'd be a game or two behind. But we just, I'm drinking the water.
But if we win out, there's a chance.
It's going to be
there's
a disappointment.
Chance. Hey, I tell you what, there's one win on the schedule. I'll tell you that right now. I got you for one.
Clash
win.
of the Titans, man. No. Browns Titans, $14 to get in the stadium.
Oh my gosh, $14. Jeez, dude.
$14. You couldn't pay me to go into the stadium.
And it's going to be so cold. It's in Cleveland, right?
Oh yeah, it's in Cleveland. It's going to be dead of winter. Yeah.
I'm sorry to the fans that show up for that. I cannot believe somebody's paying money to go watch that garbage. You know what? Positive spin. There's a lot on the line for draft picks. There is a lot on the line for that game. So in some ways, very interesting. In a lot of ways, dog shit. So up to you, fans. Up to you.
Fair enough. Well, it's time for the mailroom, where the carpet is damp, the envelopes smell like leftovers, and the tweets are somehow more cursed than a holiday group text. Trevor, what did you pry out of your inbox this week?
I've got a few submissions here. It's funny that you mentioned JJ McCarthy in our first sponsorship. I hate that they sponsored us, and now I'm about to read this, but it's kind of awkward for everybody. But Anthony Amico here on Twitter says that JJ McCarthy now ranks 851 out of 852 in EPA.
Oh, no.
Among qualified passers since 2000. The only player below McCarthy is, who do you think is the only player below McCarthy?
Oh, no. Well, I'm going to guess it's someone from the Browns.
It's not. Worst quarterback of all time. Who do you, just real quick.
Worst quarterback of all time.
Yeah, off the dome.
Off the dome. Jamarcus Russell. Was that it?
Yeah, that's it. He's number 852. He's the only person worse than JJ McCarthy. Yeah, it's Jamarcus Russell. Nailed it. Yeah, sorry, JJ McCarthy. That's awkward. We thank you, Vikings, for your sponsorship earlier.
Keep cashing those checks, JJ.
Appreciate you. Yep, we'll never hear from them again. Second entry, the first runner-up is from Will Lomas, who writes a lot about the Titans. He says it's wild that Cam Ward is on pace for nearly 3,500 yards. Granted, that's in a 17-game season, but on pace for nearly 3,500 yards. That isn't a crazy achievement in NFL terms, but if he hits that number, he will only be the third Titans quarterback to do that since 1992. That is 33 years. Ryan Tannehill did it twice. Matt Hasselbeck did it once. But like, even if you average it out to 16 games, he would be having the 9th best season in Titans quarterback history.
Wasn't Matt Hasselbeck, was that like his corpse? Wasn't he in Seattle for the longest time?
And then he came to us and turns out balled out in terms of Titans, you know. We also had Ryan Fitzpatrick rolled through in a very similar corpse of Ryan Fitzpatrick. So we love our old quarterbacks. Finally, my tweet of the week is from Jarrett Bailey. Who says, and honestly, I share the sentiment too. So thank you, Jarrett, for putting this so eloquently as I share your position. Jarrett says, I choose to be happy for Shedeur Sanders while simultaneously acknowledging his cult-like conspiracy theorist followers are the biggest dumbasses on earth. And like, that is exactly how I feel. You've had to watch like The President and Skip Bayless and like Stephen A. Be like, you know, have takes and stuff, while like I feel like the rest of us are just like normally supporting him and are happy and are not looking to be proven right on our deep state conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, if he does, you know, poorly, then he was set up for failure. He didn't get enough opportunities, which I agree. In the preseason, Stefanski did a terrible job, but like Shedeur was the 4th quarterback. I mean, we had Flacco, Kenny Pickett, we had Dylan Gabriel, and then it was Shedeur, so he wasn't going to have that opportunity. And you know, I think between you, me, and the fence post, Kevin Stefanski probably wanted to like redshirt Shedeur just to give him a year to learn. Agreed. And now it's just like, well, I got nothing to lose, so get out there.
Here we are. When Gabriel got hurt, that kind of forced things. So there you go, Zach. What's jammed in your mailroom chute this week?
So I've got a couple. I'm gonna start on the bright side first. These are from Andrew Siciliano. A couple on the Browns.
Red Zone
Myles
guy.
Garrett's
Love Siciliano.
Yeah. Myles Garrett's 18 sacks through 11 games is the most by any player since the NFL started keeping track in 1982.
Can you say that one more time?
18 sacks through 11 games is the most by any player since the NFL started keeping track in 1982.
He's at 18 sacks?
He's at a 5-sack game. He's at a 4-sack game. And then against Las Vegas, he had a 3-sack game, Trevor.
Oh, my good gracious.
He's 5 ahead of everyone else. It's not even a competition. Again, please take care of yourself.
Healthy,
do not get injured.
Stay healthy, baby. We love you.
Yeah. Another one from Andrew. That's a pretty crazy stat. Here's another one. The Browns are the first team in the Super Bowl era with 5 rookies each recording 40-plus yards from scrimmage in the same game against the Raiders. Okay. Shedeur Sanders, Quinshon Judkins, and Sampson, the 2 running backs. Isaiah Bond, the Texas wide receiver. We got him undrafted. And then Fannin, our new tight end.
Okay.
I will give credit to Andrew Berry, the Cleveland Browns general manager. He did a great job with this draft. We have literally 5 or 6 studs that are starting, that are contributing. Schlesinger, the middle linebacker, is going to be defensive rookie of the year. Mason Graham's playing great in the middle. I literally just need one more of those drafts because we're not even close to where we need to be.
Man, I feel that so hard. Golly. We were joking this week. I was joking, but in a realer sense, I wasn't joking. Like, if we just need 7 starters from this next draft, and we'll be halfway to repairing all of the holes in the Titans roster.
Brutal.
It
Absolutely
is
brutal. And
it's so tough.
To follow that path, I have one more from Unnecessary Roughness.
Love it.
UMass, the University of Massachusetts, they have a football team. UMass has lost 24 straight games versus FBS opponents. Their last FBS win was October 10th, 2023 versus Army.
Ooh. Huh.
Woof.
That's a pretty good win, though. Army's good. Army's decent. But I hate that it was a few years ago.
They just need to schedule Army every year. I don't know what they're doing. Like, keep coming.
Army every year.
Homecoming contract.
Yeah. Shout out to all those UMass football fans out there. We see you in our mentions. Thank you for joining us.
And you're welcome at Misery Sports Co.
Yeah, always. Chaotic, overly bold, completely unnecessary. In other words, perfect.
All right, let's check in with whichever sponsor forgot to unsubscribe this week. Next segment is going to be brought to you by Zion Williamson's Diet Plan, delivering healthy meal kits every week, which he promises he'll start next week. Probably. Maybe.
Oh,
I found his listed weight. He is 6'6", Trevor. How much do you think Zion Williamson weighs?
6'6"?
He's only 6'6". He's not that tall.
That's not. Yeah, that's a few inches taller than us. I don't know, like a little over. Oh, I'm thinking mid twos.
Mid twos, like 250, 260.
Sure. Yeah,
284.
That's so
He's
much
a
more than
big
I thought.
boy. He's only played in 8 of the first 18 games. Even like I feel like when they list your weight, they're typically listing a lower weight than
No
what
doubt.
you actually
no doubt.
are.
They're going to list you higher
pushing,
in height and lower in weight. Yes,
right.
100%.
He's probably pushing 3 bills, and
Dang.
yeah, crazy.
What a big boy. Man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, welcome
Zion
to
Williams. We appreciate your diet.
That's right. We appreciate you. Welcome to the Office of Moral Victories, where expectations are low, accountability is decorative, and performance reviews are written in pencil.
Let's hand out some awards. My employee of the week goes to none other than Jason Robo Robertson of the Dallas Stars. I genuinely don't remember, both because I have a terrible memory and I've been drinking tonight. I don't remember if this is like if he's won one of these before. If you have, Jason, we love you, baby. But Jason Robertson is on an all-time hot streak. He has scored in 7 consecutive games. In those 7 games,
Dang.
he has 11 goals. He has, I'm sorry, this is in the month of November. He has 11 goals in November. He has 22 points in November. Both of those are NHL leaders. He scored in 7 consecutive games, and that sets a Dallas Stars record for most consecutive games with a goal. Now, he is trying to earn his way onto the USA hockey team for the upcoming Winter Olympics, and he's known for starting a little slow, especially the last few years. In 22, I think he had like 108, 109 points, something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So he, in the subsequent years, he started out a little bit slower and then came on strong. Definitely my employee of the week, because 7 consecutive games with a goal is nuts. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I knock on wood that one, he stays healthy, but that he is learning to be more physical, and we would love to see this in the playoffs. His finesse scoring tends to disappear a little bit in the playoffs when things get a little more, rougher, a little more physical. I will say when we lost against the Oilers last year, he had a great series, so I can't really fault him for that. But Zach, the Stars beat the Oilers last night. Our new head coach was an assistant coach there. They have knocked us out of the playoffs the past 2 years. We went up to Edmonton last night, beat them 8-3. Without Mikko Rantanen, we spanked them. Mikko Rantanen is suspended for boarding people in multiple games. We spanked him.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that's what the league says. And if you believe that, you're a dummy. I got some other stuff to tell you. You're a dummy. So that is my Employee of the week. Congrats, Jason Robertson.
Congratulations. I'm gonna go across a couple leagues here. I've got a few that I'm gonna hand out. I mean, I could have done Myles Garrett. We talked about him. He's just a freak. First one is gonna go to Davis Mills. So he is the backup for the Houston Texans. I know you don't appreciate the Houston Texans. However,
screw him.
He had 2 touchdown passes, and they actually beat the Bills, the Buffalo Bills, 23-19. They were big underdogs. Yeah. CJ McCollum. So we covered the Washington Wizards a few weeks ago. CJ McCollum plays for the Wizards, used to be on the Trailblazers. That's where I remember McCollum the most.
Same.
46 points on 26 shots versus the Hawks. Got the dub. It was only the second dub for the Wizards. They are 2-15.
Good gracious.
Not ideal.
I am calling it right now. They're not going to get the top pick. They could finish with the worst record. They're not getting the top pick. Guaranteed.
We're going to circle those games. Wizards, Mavs. That's going to be prime time. It's going to be prime
they're
time.
Not getting because we talked about them. Those are some miserable fans. And I'm sorry. They know they're not getting the top pick. Just like the Pistons are a lot better now, but when they were getting, there's no way. They're just not getting the top pick.
Yeah, and with the lottery, it's just a total crapshoot. They'll probably get screwed. My third one just kind of popped to the top of my head. The New York Giants played the Detroit Lions. And a man that we have mentioned several times, Mr. Jameis Winston. He went 18 for 36, which is only 50% completion percentage. He went for 366 yards, 2 tutties. He caught a 33-yard touchdown pass.
And he was stiff arming people. That reception was nuts, dude. That's so good.
We'll put it on our website. His touchdown celebrations are just as wacky. I mean, they're hilarious. And they still lost. So the New York Giants
They got to overtime though, right?
They got to overtime. They lost by 7. The Giants are now 2-10. But Jameis, you are going to win an award this week.
Oh, what a beaut. I'm so glad you gave it to Jameis. We're huge fans of Jameis here on the pod. Absolutely love him. Well, congratulations to both those recipients. Your awards will be printed, misplaced, and probably later used to stabilize a wobbly desk.
All right, let's jump into this week's Deep Dive, our investigative department where we analyze a tortured fan base with the warmth of a cold turkey sandwich. Who are we taking a look at this week, Trevor?
This week, we've got an interesting team for our Deep Dive. We have talked about some just terrible teams on this podcast, and it makes sense because when you are a fan of a terrible team, it can feel really hopeless at times. Your existence can feel very miserable, and that's what we're all about here at MSC. We're about misery. But Zach, what if your team is not that bad, but they're not great? It's a rough place to be, kind of in the middle, where you're not super bad, but at the same time, you're not winning championships. And that's who we're discussing this week with the Minnesota Vikings. And I do want to remind folks, Zach and I do not talk about deep dives ahead of time. We do not talk about sponsors. So the fact that we had the Vikings Purple Pain starter pack sponsor our podcast was totally,
it was meant to be.
It was just meant to be. I have a very interesting story. Usually I like to look at their seasons, and they have these long stretches where they're not in the playoffs. That is not the case with the Vikings. They rarely have long streaks where they're not in the playoffs. In fact, looking at it real quick, their longest droughts are 4 seasons. Oh no, they didn't make the playoffs for 4 seasons. I mean, we've looked at teams that have decade worth of drought.
Oh yeah.
Just really bad. This is a different kind of pain. And so we're not necessarily going to walk through they had this season and then they had this stretch. We're more going to look at what it means to be a fan of a middling team, sometimes very good team. And if that really constitutes misery, I'm going to argue that it does, that they have a special kind of misery that they're experiencing. We always love origin stories, though, here at MSC, and usually it happens with cities doing random raffle or like contest names of like, hey, help us name our new franchise. That is not the case with the Minnesota Vikings. So eventually an owner has ties to a high school that he went to, that they were named the Vikings, that had the purple and gold colors, and so they just kind of went with it. But I want to like rewind a little bit on why the Vikings are so beloved, like culturally, from the people of Minnesota. So Minnesota has a lot of Scandinavian heritage from Scandinavian immigrants from, and I just learned recently, Zach, that Scandinavia does not include Finland. So it's Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, and not Finland, which I did not know.
Unbelievable.
Right? Like, I would have totally told you all the Finnish players for the Dallas Stars definitely qualified as Scandinavian. Shocker, they don't. But they have a lot of Scandinavian folks settling in Minnesota. So let's rewind to 1898. Let me tell you about the Kensington farm stone. So in 1898, there's a farmer in Kensington, Minnesota, who alerts the press, I have found a stone that was buried on my farm, and it's got some weird writings on it, and everybody needs to come and look at this. So he has everybody out to his property. Yeah, we dug up this stone. Look at these writings. So they have a professor come out to like tell us what's going on here. So he comes out and he looks at it and he's like, yeah, man, this is like a mashup of some languages. So like Swedish and Norse from different like time periods. And the translation basically says like this was left there from the Swedes and Norse a long time ago. And they're like, whoa, like this is amazing. Like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. The professor then says, this is clearly a fake. Like, this is not real. Like, I cannot tell you how clearly of a fake this is. Somebody obviously with Scandinavian heritage, like knew some languages and stuff and like made this and buried it. But guys, this is not real. And collectively the community was like, shut up, nerd. why don't you pack your bags and get? And like nobody listened to him. Another scholar just happened to randomly show up and was like, let me take a look at it. Like goes in and is like, yeah, this is real as hell. You know what? This is from 1362. This is from when the Vikings came in and like left this. This totally makes sense. Like, they're like, yeah. So like Viking culture there, like, is so ingrained in Minnesota and among their people. Like there was a poll. I got deep into this, man. I'm not even to the football part. Like I'm deep into just like Viking culture in Minnesota. Like there was a poll that 60% of Minnesodian people at one time, like not that long ago, maybe like 30 years ago, thought that Minnesota folks like descended from Vikings, that like Leif Erikson, who like landed in Newfoundland, Canada, traveled, navigated the Great Lakes and like settled in Minnesota. And there's
interesting
no evidence of this except that there's those folks did later in a normal year immigrate to this state and settle there. But all that to say, long before there was football, there was Viking culture. And who cares if it's real or not? We don't care at MSC. We don't care. Whatever. Tell us your culture. It's fine, right?
Yeah, that's right. And whenever I think of Vikings, I'm like, oh, cold weather. They're like big, crazy dudes. And that just fits Minnesota. Like Minnesota's freezing. You got to be a little tough, thick-skinned.
Yes.
Makes sense.
And at the Super Bowl was there in a special year that we'll get to here in a little bit. It was there And I remember listening to the local sports station in Dallas who went up there to cover the Super Bowl. And they were like, it is so... And these are people from Dallas. I'm from Dallas, kind of. But we have the very thin blood. They're like, it is so cold here. But the Twin Cities has a bunch of tunnels that connect their buildings, so you don't have to go outside. So they've like adapted to it, but they're very... I totally agree. It's cold. They're tough people. It's a hardy people, so it just works. So let's fast forward. That was 1898. Let's fast forward to 1959. So Bill Boyer is the owner's name, and some other folks, they get rights to an AFL expansion team.
Mm-hmm.
But then the NFL comes in and is like, wouldn't it be a lot cooler if you had an NFL team instead of an AFL team? So they end up canceling their AFL deal, and they sign with the NFL to become the 14th team in the NFL. Funny enough, they have to add another person to the ownership team because back in the 20s when they had professional football, they had promised a guy, hey, if we ever have a pro team again, you can have 10% of it. And he was like, well, sounds like a good deal to me. So they just had to tell this group, like, we made this deal with this guy. So, like, you kind of got to take his hand. Hope you're cool with that. So he comes in, and that's the guy that has a high school connection to the Vikings and the purple and yellow. So like all of that was because of that weird deal back in the 20s. So if I say Vikings football, what kind of like, in terms of like quality of football product, how would you grade the quality of football product in general?
In general, I'd say, like a B-. I mean, I can remember a lot of offensive stars and, the early 2000s. And even recently, they seem to get to the playoffs pretty consistently, but there's always these bigger teams that they're kind of casting their shadow over the Vikings, it feels like.
Yes. And it's a really tough division up there. Now, I guess. But like you have the Bears, the Packers, and the Lions. So there's always competitive football up there. Something about the North divisions are just competitive. Folks can come on down to the South. I tell you what, you want to win at 9-7 or whatever it is, 9-8 now, you can. So that's kind of how I would grade them too. The butt of some jokes, I guess, like maybe they can't get it done. I think the Vikings and the Bills are similar in that at times the product was very good, but I don't think that the Vikings have had the dip in quality that the Bills have gone through. And also the Vikings have not lost 3 Super Bowls in a row, but they have lost 2 Super Bowls in 3 and 4 years. So back in the 70s, they did lose the 73, 74, and 76 Super Bowls, and that was on a stretch where they made the playoffs 6 years in a row. Fran Tarkenton, like it was a very good team.
Yeah.
But they could never get it done. Now they had a very, very good defensive line, like one of the best in history. And we've talked about funny nicknames. They were the Purple People Eaters, which is elite.
Oh, yeah.
That is elite nickname. Really, really good. Dominant, physical team, just could not get it done. They lost Super Bowls to the Dolphins, the Steelers, and the Raiders. But very good team. So you think like there's promise. The 80s were okay. That was where they had their biggest playoff drought in the 80s. I guess before I start going through, because we're gonna hit the 90s, the 2000s, and then today. So you're right. I think a B- is accurate. So they are one of only 9 teams to ever win 15 games in a season. And if you get rid of the Lions and the Chiefs, who did it last year in a 17-game season, they're only one of 7 teams in a 16-game season to win 15 of them, which is great. They have an exceptionally good all-time winning percentage. They are 7th best. They have one of the highest games over 500. At one point in the last few years, they were 3rd behind the Cowboys and the Steelers. So, historically, some very good football in Minnesota. They've made the playoffs 30 times. That's a lot.
Wow.
They
That's
have
insane.
0 Super Bowls to show for it. They've been to the Super Bowl 4 times. That's pretty
It's not
good.
bad. Yeah. And it actually connects. So it's funny you said to the Raiders in the 70s, because we did a deep dive on the Raiders. On the flip side, that was John Madden who actually coached that team. So it's like all these teams are interwoven, and even success in the 70s, 80s doesn't mean success now. Like there's just a lot of tough breaks.
Yeah. And it's tough when you are in the middle of that run where you're like, okay, like things are looking good. Like we're going to get over that hump. And to just not is soul crushing. I just feel that in my bones. I'm not going to go, we've talked about this for a while now. I'm not going to go through each and every season. We're going to fast forward. We're going to do light speed now. We're going to fast forward really quick. So from 1961 when they started to today, they've only had 10 coaches, which seems crazy to me.
Wow.
Like that's not a lot. Just to frame that, the Titans, if you count like the Oilers history as well, we've had 21 coaches. And if you count interim coaches, the Browns, now you have to go back to like 46, but the Browns have had 22. And so like we're on kind of the same level, but the Vikings have only had 10 coaches.
It's great stability.
Very good stability. We don't have time to walk through every decade and everything, but let's fast forward to the 90s. You get Chris Carter from Philly.
Freaking love the 90s Vikings.
Yes,
Freaking love them.
To pair with Rich Gannon, who in my head is like a Raider, but he didn't get to the Raiders until 99. But it was Rich Gannon and Chris Carter for a while. Incredible team. Obviously, then they go to a 38-year-old Warren Moon Titan, yay. And then eventually a 34-year-old Randall Cunningham in 1997. So fun. And then the next year in 98, you get Randy Moss, who's there through 2004. And also Dante Culpepper. Like these teams in my head are so fun offensively to watch, not just from an on the field product, but like anytime I was firing up a video game, I'm playing with the Vikings. I can remember doing whatever the Dreamcast football was, like 2K maybe, and I was like, give me the Vikings all day.
NFL Blitz, give me the Vikings. Yeah. I just remember in the early 2000s the AstroTurf that they had.
Yes.
I actually was in the 6th grade. I was part of the Vikings team for our local football team.
Yeah,
I played for them. So, I like you. I remember all their offensive stars. I don't think there were a lot of routes. It was just Randy, go deep, and I'm gonna chuck this to you.
Yep.
And they must not have had a good enough defense to really carry them in some of these key moments.
Yeah, they had from 2000 to 04, they don't make the playoffs. Now they had a 9-7 season in 03, but they don't get back until 04 where they lose in the divisional round. And those are the prime Moss years. So like Culpepper and Moss, they get to the conference championship in 2000. They get to the conference championship and then they lose 41-0.
Oh no.
Against the New York Giants. So like, is it better to get close to the Super Bowl and not win it, or would you rather get blown out in the conference championship 41-0? They don't even get a field goal. Like, this is insane.
that's really tough. I want the ticket to, the show, so to speak,
Yes.
but we've been on the receiving end of that too. Ohio State got destroyed 41-14 in a championship game.
Yeah,
Alabama just had their way that COVID season in the championship. It's like, part of me as a fan, I want to have that next game. I want to, extend the season. But when you get blown out like that, you're like, I don't know if I can watch the fourth quarter because it's already 30-0 or whatever it is. It's like there's no hope in that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you too. I think I'd rather get there. It was fun when Luka got to the finals, even though it was a gentleman's sweep, but like it was good that he got there.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forwarding, we're going so quick, we're running out of time, but in 2017, so that's when the Super Bowl was in Minnesota, and there hadn't been a team that played in the Super Bowl in their hometown. And then we get to the divisional round, and Case Keenum throws a bomb to Stephon Diggs, and the Saints defender jumps up for some reason, or like, no, he dives under him to try and take his legs out, misses. Stephon Diggs turns around, and it's, the Minneapolis Miracle. They win on the walk-off touchdown. It's incredible. Definitely the top moment, I think, in Vikings history for sure.
Yeah, I remember with that Super Bowl too. Justin Timberlake did the Super Bowl that year. So that was the first year where I was like, oh man, they're starting to like gear these Super Bowl halftime shows toward us. We are now the old demographic.
Yeah. And then I remember everybody's talking like, this is the team of destiny. This is happening. They're going to get there. And then the next week they get blown out in the championship 38-7 by the Eagles in the conference championship.
Yeah, and like that time, from when Randy Moss and Chris Carter and all them, ended up leaving the league to what you're covering, they were really carried by Adrian Peterson. So like, they always had an absolute stud. He was a problem.
Yes.
And that was back when they would give you 30, 40 touches a game as a running back, and it wasn't as spread out as it is now.
Yes. I remember being in college and we were watching Adrian Peterson like trying to set the record, and he got so close and he couldn't like quite get it. But I remember watching that, and I also remember watching Brett Favre randomly went to Minnesota to break the hearts of Packers. And he did he got all the way to the conference championship, and then threw a really stupid pick to the Saints at the end of the game, and it was just soul crushing. And we roomed with a diehard Packers fan who was rooting for Brett Favre to do well against the Vikings. So that kind of tells you like that fandom. But all that to say, this is a team who has had incredible athletes come through. So Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Adrian Peterson, Justin Jefferson, right? Yeah,
he's a freak.
Just such good athletes. And then to not have the pieces to put it together to get all the way to the top, and just be super frustrated. And now they're dealing with the investment in JJ McCarthy. They're in a really bad way. And I think that assumption of like, hey, we're not going to win the whole thing starts to creep in like almost to your bones. Like you can feel it so deep in your body that this just is not happening. And I think that's a special kind of misery. And we absolutely welcome folks from Viking Nation into MSC. Yeah,
no, it's a great perspective. I mean, even that mid-tier is welcome in Misery Sports Co. I mean, you hit it right on the head. Just the inability to close it out. It's so painful when you have an all-time great like Adrian Peterson. I feel that with the Browns and Nick Chubb. It's just like you cannot take that talent and just push it over, and even just have like one championship game. Even if you lose it, so be it.
Right.
We'll see. JJ McCarthy, this is his first year. He was injured all of last year. They just, I don't know, in today's league, they churn and burn rookie quarterbacks really quick.
They do. There's not a lot of time given to develop, so.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough. Well, grim, avoidable, historically tragic. Exactly the kind of energy that we specialize in.
And that wraps up the deep dive. Please direct any follow-up questions to HR, who is currently out of office attempting to salvage their holiday plans.
And now, a message from a sponsor who deeply regrets renewing their contract. From the makers of the New York Times bestselling book, What Color Is Your Parachute?, comes a new self-help book from Super Bowl participating coach Jim Harbaugh titled When to Pull That Ripcord. Readers of every age will love this one-page, easy read. Do you love audiobooks? Then you'll love this 15-second of quality advice narrated by the ghost of Bo Schembechler. Here's the book in its entirety. Just cheat and then leave before the hammer comes. Hey, you'll bust your gut when you get the joke that, guess what? There is no hammer. It never drops. Buy it today wherever made-up books are sold. That's right. When to pull that ripcord.
Well, thank you so much. It's too soon, but thank you for that sponsorship. Too soon to ripcord. That one hurts a little bit.
He just bounced. He bounced a champ.
Oh yeah, he knew. He knew. He got that ring, and he said, "You know what? There's a lot of fire. I'm smelling smoke. I'm out."
Feels like I should go ahead and leave. And all of Michigan was like, "Yeah, Bam. Thank you for that." What?
Yeah. Well, here at Misery Sports Co., we wrap things up with something loosely resembling optimism. My pep talk this week is actually going to go into the college football ranks. So we have a bunch of great games this weekend for Thanksgiving. I'm going to talk to Georgia Tech fans and the Georgia Tech team. You've got Georgia. You're hosting Georgia at home Friday afternoon, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. You had one of the most soul-crushing losses I have personally ever witnessed last year.
Buddy.
I mean, controlled the game. How many overtimes was it, Trevor? Like 7?
That sounds right. Yeah. And that coach was basically in tears at the end.
Yeah, and it got to the point where they were just doing 2-point attempts. It's like, this isn't even football at this point. We just want the game to end.
Yep.
Georgia Tech, had every right to win that game last season. They are big underdogs this week. Hang in there, Georgia Tech fans. Come out. I know that you're on the fringe of the playoff. A big win against Georgia would help. I don't know if, you can get lucky and get in the ACC championship, but I'm here for Georgia Tech this week to try to right some wrongs from last year.
Yeah, it was an incredible game. And I just remember, when they were trading 2-point plays, every single one, Joe Tessitore had to be like, and this play to make the SEC championship. I was like, buddy, the drama's built. You don't have to keep doing this. We are invested. I hate Big Noon Kickoff, but I loves me some Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt.
Yeah, and Georgia is one of those teams the last few years. They're fantastic, right? But they always squeak out the close wins. They should have lost to Tennessee this year.
Yes.
They ended up pulling out a 3-point win, 4-point win against Florida, 8 points, 1 score against Ole Miss. It's just like every time that Georgia needs a big play, their defense comes up with it.
That Florida game, man, that messed me up. They did work Texas like a puppet, which...
credit them, yeah.
Yeah,
they did.
It's hilarious. Do you have a feel for? I feel like I need to talk about A&M now every time. We didn't get an A&M sponsorship, which seems like a mistake. But do you have a feel for that rivalry this year? That's the one I'm most excited. Besides Ohio State, Michigan, that's the one I'm most excited to watch.
So that is Friday night. Texas is the home team.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have enough confidence in Arch Manning to pull it out.
Yeah.
A&M's defense is good.
It's really freaking
top
good.
Top 3.
Dude. Yeah.
Good.
They are very good.
Texas has a good defense. I just don't know if they're going to generate enough points. I like A&M, and I just like, Arch Manning maybe making 1 or 2 mistakes. What are your thoughts on that one?
I feel like similar. I think it's going to be a game where like maybe Texas jumps out to an early lead from like either a trick play or like, but they have that returner who's really good. His name escapes me right now, but he is a weapon. Is it? I don't want to guess.
Let's not guess.
We'll guess. We'll look it up. I don't want to guess. He's really good. So I could see them like jumping out to a lead. Okay.
Well, A&M could be, I think that A&M could be a candidate for one of our deep dives. I mean, historically, they've always been in the shadow of Texas. But they have an opportunity to win the SEC, beat Texas, go to the SEC championship, and be a top 4 seed, number 2, number 3.
Absolutely.
If Ohio State loses, they could be number 1.
Yeah. Ryan Niblett. I was right. That was my guess, was Niblett.
Thank you for researching that and just double checking.
Always, sir. Good luck to Mr. Ryan Niblett and the rest of the team. Okay. My pep talk this week is to Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn has been the captain for the Dallas Stars for quite some time. I mentioned in an earlier episode this year that he has been out with an injury. He is now back. He just scored goal number 400. So congratulations to Jamie Benn. That's very exciting. But Jamie Benn is perhaps in his last season. He's only 36, but like he feels super old, which means I'm super old because that's how old I am. Here's the thing. I mentioned earlier that Jason Robertson scored a crap ton of goals and has been on a tear. He's kind of a restricted free agent next year, so we're going to have to pay him some money. It sure would be cool if somebody came off the books because they retired, and then we would have some more money. It's a weird thing because you balance like, Jamie, we love you. Sorry that I'm talking about you while you're here listening to this. But is it time? I don't know. Maybe. Let's see if you skate the cup. If you skate the cup, it's time. And I want to pep you up for that and say, go off into the sunset. If you don't skate the cup, maybe it's also time. I don't know. I'm just a guy wondering some stuff about some things. And you probably don't feel pepped up by this, but let me end on a high and say you're doing great. Congrats on 400. Keep it up. We got a long season. Carry those young kids. We have a lot of young players. Carry them to greatness. And thank you for what you do to your body on a daily basis. Thank you so much.
And I think out of our professional teams, together, the Dallas Stars, would you agree the Dallas Stars have the best chance of winning a championship this year?
Yes. Of our professional teams?
Professional, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
By far. They have the Dallas Stars GM has won GM of the year 3 straight years.
Holy cow.
Yeah. He is running. Our farm system has been incredible, and we have a lot of those young kids. So they are very well positioned. However, if you asked me that question not 10 months ago, I would have said, I don't know. Maybe it's the Mavericks.
That's too soon.
Oh my gosh. Well, on that note, that closes out this week at Misery Sports Co., where every episode doubles as an informal performance warning.
Follow us online, send us your most tragic takes, and tell us which team personally ruined your week.
We'll be back with more pain, more laughter, and if the universe feels generous, one moral victory worth toasting.
Until then, clock out, grab some pie. Love me some pie. And remember, misery loves company, especially around the holidays. Happy Thanksgiving.